What's going on, everybody? Gleez here, and today in this video we're going to be talking about some retro horror games. With Halloween right around the corner and it being one of my favorite holidays, I thought that this was a topic we definitely should dive into. We have everything from shoot 'em ups to platformers to even a mobile game. So sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy. So obviously when it comes to retro games or retro style games, many of the titles that come to mind when you think of horror would be Friday the 13th for NES, maybe Splatterhouse on TurboGrafx 16, maybe we got some Castlevania, sprinkled in with some Maniac Mansion and, some other things, but we're not going to talk about those titles today. We're going to talk about some other games. And the first game we're going to talk about is in the series of which I just referred, but it oftentimes is forgotten, and that's Splatterhouse 3. Now, Splatterhouse 3 is really cool in the aspect that you get to control this crazy jacked maniac and you're punching zombies right in the grill piece. Who doesn't want that? The game is also a little bit more interesting, in my opinion, than the first one. It's not so linear, so you're not moving, and when I say linear, I mean literally on the screen. You're not moving left to right. It's not a 2D type of beat 'em up. You can move up and down, so you can get different angles on your opponents. You can go in, try to work those levels, and it really has a more classic feel of a beat 'em up style game when you think of a game similar to like Final Fight, or maybe even Double Dragon. I think that really lends itself better to the gameplay. I also like the openness of the world. So in each level, you're trying to scale this mansion, and you have to decide what door to go in. As you progress, your girlfriend or wife or whoever this person is, I don't really know. I don't really care that much either. But I just know that she's got a worm inside of her that's about to go and eat her brain, and I need to make sure that I get to the top of this mansion and slay this demon before this woman that I care about is dead. Just like most other classic beat 'em ups, you got your punch and attack button, you got your jump button, jump kicks, and you also have a power meter, and your power meter allows you to get jacked. So you use your power meter, you get jacked, you get stronger, and it allows you to defeat enemies easier, and it looks like me right after I'm done doing my deadlifts. If you like beat 'em ups, you like horror, Splatterhouse 3, that's for you. So the next game I'm going to talk about is very good. It's one of my favorite games that has come out maybe in the last 5 or 6 years. And that's the Mummy Demastered. I actually did a full review on this game, and I'll link it down in the description as well as up on the top in the card section. And it's a Metroidvania style game. And when I say Metroidvania, this game literally takes the Metroidvania genre and mushes it together. You're in this, crazy, demented type of pyramid-esque area with these knights and these warriors that come after you, and it just gets crazy. There's monsters, but you have a gun, just like Metroid. So they really take the Castlevania elements and the Metroid elements and bring them together in a way that is, I don't want to say unique, it's like the opposite of unique. It's exactly what a Metroidvania game probably would be. It also gives off some Contra vibes, so if you're big on Contra, that's great. There's tons of things that you can collect. There's challenging enemies. The bosses are pretty big. They're very cool, interesting, different. I really enjoyed this game. It's about 4.5, 5 hours long. If you try to get everything, it'll probably run you around 6 or 7 hours. And it's just a really great experience. The music is amazing. There's so many things that you can unlock and you can collect, and different types of guns. I highly suggest this game, and again, if you want to check out the full review, it is up in the card section and down in the description. So for this next game, it's a interesting twist on an old classic. and this is called Castlevania Holy Relics, and this is a ROM hack. So this game takes the original Castlevania and changes it up pretty dramatically as far as the way that the game is presented to you. So you're able to select whatever level you would like to play first. Each level has a boss. The levels are challenging. It's your typical Castlevania gameplay. If you get hit by something, you're getting bounced back. Alright, you're whipping things, you're getting your whip power up. You have all the same power ups. The axe toss is a little bit different, it has a different angle. The graphics are really good. And the way that the story is portrayed is that this necromancer has stolen the holy relics and you have to go and collect them. You have to slay the necromancer, and then you're going to be Simon Belmont, the savior of everything, once again. Now, as you collect these holy relics, each one has a different type of power-up. So you have, like, the cross, it kills everything on the screen. There's also different power-ups like laurel, so it'll make you invincible as you're walking through, and you're going to need that, because there's very cheap areas in this game where you're stuck on a ledge and you have some enemy in front of you that takes multiple hits and they're firing fireballs at you and you're just going to get hit and bounce back off. So for certain areas, the different power-ups are better. I think it's like a drink. I don't know what it is. A coffee. I'm not really sure, but it gives you back health, and that's a really good one to use. I use that quite a bit, and I also used the one with laurels. That one was very excellent also. If you like Castlevania, I definitely would suggest checking out Castlevania Holy Relics. So this game right here, Night Slashers, I never heard of this game. I actually Googled, and I was typing in the Google sphere, and I was like, let me see, beat 'em ups that are horror. And Splatterhouse came up. I knew Splatterhouse. Splatterhouse 3 was a game I played a ton as a kid. Night Slashers was a game I never played. It's by Data East. And the game is a horror-style Final Fight type of game. It's a beat 'em up. It's really fun. I played it on a PlayStation Classic, so I played the actual main version, like the arcade version. It is available on Nintendo Switch, so you can grab it on there. It's only like $8. The game is super cheap, but back then in the arcade, they were trying to rob you of your quarters, so I kind of expected that. So in the game, it's really cheap because I played the arcade version. You may be able to set your level on Nintendo Switch, I don't know, but the game is really, really fun. Even though it's cheap, it's really fun. The characters that you fight against are nice and big. They're very animated. The zombies ooze and they melt. And the beat 'em up style of the gameplay is really inviting. I really, really enjoyed it. And the story is also pretty cool too. You can follow along with the story. There's like different cutscenes and they have cool graphics to kind of go, interwoven in between each level. I really, really enjoyed it, and I suggest that you play it as well, and that is Night Slashers. Abadox, another game that I played a ton as a kid, and you never really get to see gore like this in a Nintendo game. And the NES was, great for its platformers, had some really good shoot 'em ups, and this is a shoot 'em up that has a horror twist to it. And it's really hard. The scariest thing about this game is actually how hard it is. It's not anything that you're going to see, it's the fact that you're going to die a million times. And once you get to like level 3, level 4, all of your power-ups begin to accumulate. And you have these spheres to go around you, and you can bring them in closer to you to create a tighter barrier, and they're going to be the things that are the most excellent advantage that you're going to have. You're going to put them around you, they're going to deflect bullets, but they only have a certain amount of life. So you're going to need to get that power up multiple times to replenish them, or they're going to go away. Once they go away, you're done. Any bullet that touches you, you're dead. There is a decent amount of slowdown in the game, but in the portions of the game where there isn't slowdown, this game is super hard. Once you die, you have no power-ups. So you're playing the level just with nothing. You have no speed, you have no missiles, you have no barrier, you have nothing. And once you die, when I was a kid, I used to just hit the reset button. Boop, I'm just starting over because I can't even get past this level with nothing. There was a couple times I tried to do it, I wasn't successful most of those times. One time I was successful after dying. So then I continued to try it after that, and it just never worked out. I just hit the reset button. The game's really fun. It's a great shoot 'em up. It's different. You also scale downward in some levels, and I think that's really cool too. There weren't many games where you would scale downward. If you like Life Force, if you like Gradius, this is a game that I think you're going to like. Alright, the last game on this list, it's a mobile game. It's Friday the 13th, Killer Puzzle. It's free. It's free. If it's free, it's for me. I've had this game for a while, actually, and I've played it, here and there. It's really fun. The animations are really cool. You get these, like, South Park-looking characters. You can also play the game on PC. If you want to download it on Steam, you can do it there also. Jason's mother has all of these weird quips to tell you, and you can also use her to give you hints. So if you're stuck on the puzzle, you can always get hints from Jason's mom. You can see it right here in the gameplay. Now, the way that the game works, there are certain obstacles that are set up, and you can't touch these certain obstacles. Sometimes they're like fire, or a hole, or a cop, and you can't go on to certain squares. And the way that Jason moves, he can only move up, down, left, right direction, and he moves until he comes into contact with something. So it's a puzzle game where you kind of have to move around the squares, move around the grid. You can only go in those straight lines, and sometimes they put limits on the amount of times you can move. So you got to really kind of think about it and understand exactly what you're going to do before you do it. It seems as though there's infinite continues though, so you can just try things over and over again until you get it. The animations are super cool. I really enjoy them.
Final convict.
Yo, so that's it for our list of our old school retro style horror games that I've been playing right now in October. What have you been playing, retro or not? I want to hear it. Leave it down in the comment section. If you're new, be sure to click that subscribe button, and don't forget to click the bell so you get updated whenever I post new content, because YouTube just won't tell you. That's just how they roll. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't work there. As always, I want to thank you for checking in. It's Jay Gleez signing out, and continue to game strong.